In this video, we're going to show you how OnBase can support the contract request stage of the contract lifecycle. Contract requests refers to the process of how contract originators across an organization initiate requests with the legal department, and then how legal in turn fulfills that request. And this process will differ substantially from contract type to contract type and across industries. So what are some of the common business pains associated with the contract request process? First, organizations often have a lack of a formal request process. So requests are coming into legal via word of mouth, email, or phone call, and in no consistent manner. Unqualified requests are also reaching the legal department. There may not be enough information or the wrong information to process the request, or the contract that needs to be reviewed is separated from that request. Another business pain is long contract creation times due to the inability to collect all of the needed information up front, and it's also often challenging for legal to easily view all of their assigned and upcoming work. So now Scott is going to show how OnBase can help manage and formalize the contract request process.
The first thing that we're going to focus on in this demonstration is how OnBase can simplify the way that contract originators can request contracts. When a contract originator logs into OnBase, they can kick off this process by filling out a contract request form. This contract request form can be accessible from a personalized page, which shows that user all of the frequent functionality that they might use in the OnBase system. But it can also be accessible from a company intranet portal or perhaps from their Outlook inbox. To kick off the process, the originator will simply click on the tile, in this case, to access the contract request form. And as Amanda stated earlier in this presentation, the contract request form can help formalize the process and ensure that we're capturing all of the right data and documents that the legal department would need to process this particular type of request. In this case, we're looking at a vendor contract request form, so the type of agreement and perhaps some vendor demographic information would be required to process this. But because in most cases, vendor contracts will come in on the vendor's form of the agreement, this particular form has been configured to also capture that vendor contract right at request time. As Amanda also stated, based on contract type and vertical industry, the data and documents required to process these requests can differ substantially. So what we're looking at here is another example of a contract request form that could be configured in OnBase. In this example, this is an employment contract, and it specifies the information that we might need to generate an employment agreement for, in this case, a provider at a hospital. Now, once the form is submitted, that will initiate the contract fulfillment process on the legal side. So once these are submitted, they're turned into requests and routed to the appropriate contract administrator. Again, the rules around routing differ based on contract type and the organization's rules. The contract administrator would access their work from this interface. And basically, what they care about is a work basket, or all of the open requests that are assigned to them and that they are directly responsible for. Each one of the rows in this particular work basket represents a contract object. Now, the contract object is intended to give the contract administrator and any of the other part of the legal team processing this request with a complete view of all of the information surrounding this particular request. You can see that some of the original request details, such as contract type and description, are pulled over to the request. But this also allows us to manage key dates, add additional tasks and milestones, and even manage side notes about the agreement. Another important aspect of this request is it also provides the contract team with quick access to not only the data, but all of the required documents that they need to support this process as well. And by collecting all of this data in an application, This will allow us to provide management with meaningful reports that they want to see, such as how work is distributed across the department, a breakdown of work by type, and the system is flexible enough that we can provide other types of reports that management in the organization might be interested in.
So what are the business benefits of the functionality that Scott just showed? First, self-service access speeds the request process and lessens the burden on the legal department. OnBase also formalizes the request process, and this eliminates the opportunity for requests to fall through the cracks and ensures the right data and documents are collected right at the start. And again, as Scott just showed with our dashboard and reporting, OnBase increases visibility by consistently capturing requests and related data.